Hello, everyone. My name is Dean Macko. Thanks for joining us this afternoon or this morning. I'm going to apologize in advance. The template that I used here in PowerPoint was a little bit darker on my screen than it's showing up here, so some of the white text is getting a little blurred out, but I'm sure we can make do. I think we'll just do a quick intro here. Born and raised in small town Canada. I've been living in the States now since I was 24 and really have moved around over my market research career. Before getting into video research, I was more of a quant slash syndicated data guy. And I had done that for 17 years and everything was fine. And I thought I was delivering tremendous insights and clients were happy and we were developing products and we were consulting on brand work and so on and so forth. Until I left Hyundai Corporate. I was there for 4 years in Southern California, and the cost of living was just getting a little too much for us. And I joined a small company out of Denver. I was employee number 25 called Qualview. Um, Post here if anyone remembers the name of Qualview back in Denver. They are no longer around, but at the time they were real pioneers in the video space, and so that's where I cut my teeth on video research, and we had just the most amazing clients there. And so the last 4 years I've been at Vox Pop Me. I'm no longer with them, but I spent another 4 years working with, again, just tremendous brands on video deliverables. And so I'm going to take you on a journey today, my own 8-year journey, specializing in video reports. And this is really going to be a fun session. It's going to be not all that theoretical. I think it's going to be extremely practical. I hope that you walk away today thinking about how to incorporate video into your own deliverables to tell better stories to your clients immediately. So with that, let's go to the next slide. So why should you care about video? Well, from a consumer standpoint, society is all about video, right? Everyone's expressing themselves via video and kind of giving people little glimpses into their lives. Zuckerberg of Facebook had predicted about 5 years ago, no, a couple of years ago, sorry, about 3 years ago, that in 5 years that the amount of video content on Facebook would surpass still images. And 3 years ago, it sounded like a load of hot air because everyone was still posting just images. But you can start to see really the momentum picking up on Facebook for video and certainly live streaming. And there's a ton of new features coming down the pike for both Facebook and Instagram and other social media. Now, from a corporate perspective, the one big reason you should care about video is that executives love video. A recent survey showed that about 85% of executives were consuming video content on business related sites at least once a week. So they're already consuming um, stuff, content to help them better their jobs via video at least once a week anyhow. And so why shouldn't they be consuming your research insights via video? And in fact, Forbes has a statistic out there that the vast majority of executives would rather consume information via video than a text-based alternative. And certainly the whole area of video is absolutely white hot right now. So in the beginning, gosh, this is going back about 8 years ago, and I still see this today. Companies that are using Vox Pop Me or a Living Lens or a Discuss.io or a Dscout or Focus Vision, and they've gone and captured this great video content, whether that's from a focus group or an IDI, or they're having people doing these video selfies, with smartphones and going on a shop along to Walmart or something. And this is what they've got in their PowerPoint presentation. They've got the video right there on the page. It's easy enough to insert, and then they've got some findings off to the side. And the problem is that the video is taking up darn near half your slides, so you don't have a ton of real estate to really work with here, and it almost forces your slides to become incredibly wordy because you frankly do not have a ton of room over on the left-hand side to convey the message that you're trying to convey. The video really is supposed to be supporting material for the story you're trying to convey in your slides, and here you just don't have a lot of room for it. And so our presentations back in the day were quite wordy and not as graphical. as we would want them to be, especially for qualitative reports. So in working with some of our graphic design guys, we were able to come up with a report that was kind of neat, kind of tricky. I want to walk you through this. It's a nice workaround, but you're able to use now the entire slide for your content within the PowerPoint. So you can put your path to purchase diagrams in here. You can put all of your circles and imagery and other diagrams, and you've got the full real estate of the slide to work with. And we've got a little play button in the upper right-hand corner that is actually going to link to another slide in the presentation that's at the very back of the presentation. And so when I click this button, click to play, immediately this other slide pops up. And the client is amazed that this video kind of explodes onto the screen. And now the video can be full screen. We can see the consumer there. And boom, there you go. And it looks like somehow PowerPoint has this feature that just explodes it right on the screen there. But in actuality, it's the slide that's linked to the very back. You play the video, and once you're done, when you go ahead and click on the close button, you're immediately taken back up to the slide further up in the PowerPoint, and it's absolute magic. And so that has been kind of the way that I have been building out my PowerPoint reports over the last couple of years. The problem with embedding the video, though, within the PowerPoint presentation is that the file size becomes just tremendously large. I've seen half a gig, 700 megabytes, even over a gigabyte size presentations where you've got these little highlight reels or video show reels on virtually every slide in your PowerPoint presentation, and they take up a lot of room, especially if you're working with the high def videos. So absolutely challenging to email and socialize. And so they become a great document for when you're wanting to present. You save it to your local C drive, that's great, but how do you share all this great content with other people in your organization? Well, we had a workaround for that as well. And so again, it's kind of technology enabling us to think smarter about how we put together our presentations. But certainly on the Vox Pop Me platform and other platforms, I'm sure you're able to create a URL that includes nothing but that video show reel or that highlight reel that you've put together for that particular slide. And so it's actually hot linked to another web page. So the only drawback to this solution is that you do need to have Wi-Fi connectivity when you're presenting. But you would go ahead and click play on the red play button, and you'd be brought to another web tab would open up. You'd play the video, and then you could go back to your PowerPoint presentation. Now, this keeps your PowerPoints at 5 megabyte, 7 megabyte, 9 megabytes, something that you can quickly email around and socialize easily to your executives. Now we get to the video report. And this is really taking everything that we've talked about with how we integrate video highlight reels into PowerPoint and really just taking it to the very next level. And I'm not sure how many people in the room have ever seen a video report before, or even thought about delivering all of the key findings from a research study via video.
Dean, may I interrupt with a couple of quick questions that we have coming in?
Yes.
First of all, there are some people who aren't familiar with Vox Pop Me. So if you could just give a couple of seconds about Vox Pop Me and it's, and that how that platform collects video. And also a question about Vox Pop Me. Alexandra is asking, can you create your own highlight reel within Vox Pop Me if you have your own videos?
Yes, absolutely. So Vox Pop Me will go and capture videos for you, or they're happy to upload your own content. So if you've got video content of your own, you can go ahead and upload that. So if you've got recordings of focus groups, or you've been on some shop-alongs with some respondents and you've got your own content, go ahead and upload that. The Vox Pop Me platform, like a number of other platforms, will immediately time code those transcripts to the video. So it's literally just a drag and drop process. You're highlighting the transcript, you're highlighting words, but the platform knows to the 100th of a second exactly what video snippet you're meaning to grab. And so you can very easily produce and put together your own highlight reel of just the very best sound bites, and it takes just a couple of minutes to do.
Excellent. And then one other question before I let you move on. Dante is asking, what are the best practices when there is no Wi-Fi where you're
Yeah,
presenting?
so the best practice, frankly, is to go to this one here, where you've got all the video embedded in slides near the end of the presentation, and you're clicking on the play button and you're hyperlinking back to the video that is in your PowerPoint file. Again, the file size is going to be humongous. It's fine. It's saved on your local drive or your desktop, and you don't have to worry about Wi-Fi.
Excellent. Thank you.
Right? All right, so the video report, again, technology innovations have had a big role in this. But on the Vox Pop Me platform, and you'll have to ask about the other ones, you can also include in your highlight reel, as you're creating this highlight reel of customer clips, you can be adding text slides and images and graphics and logos. And so you can begin building out this highlight reel that is not just a string of consumer clips, but has an introductory slide to it, some findings, maybe a methodology slide in there. Then you get to the consumer clips. Then you can have a diagram, transition slides, move to more customer clips. And so you begin building on your story using these transition slides with all the analysis baked right into it. And I'm going to show you two versions of how you would do this. One is just using the tools on the Vox Pop Me platform that I know exists there. Again, ask your other providers if you want to see if they have this capability. But then two, the second video I'm going to share with you is a sizzle reel. So something that's been glammed up a little bit, leveraging the services of a video engineer. But the video report can be extremely powerful, and we're seeing more and more companies actually adopt. I'm going to go to this one right now. More and more companies actually just look for the video deliverable as the only deliverable. Clorox, for instance, and we've presented with Clorox at presentations and conferences before, so this is not telling tales out of school, but Clorox has really embraced video. Almost all of the deliverables we were doing at Vox Pop Me were the video report. No, no word top lines, no PowerPoint deliverables. Just give me an 8-minute video show reel, and that's all I want to distribute to my executives. In fact, Clorox has taken it one step further, and they actually have an 8-minute video continuous loop of consumer videos running on their executive floor. So all of the monitors, all of the TV screens on the executive floor at Clorox are running an 8-minute loop of consumer videos. Now, of course, we have this, subtitles burnt in into the bottom so that they can watch what people are saying as they're watching. And of course, all the monitors are muted, but they're watching people spray down their tubs and their showers, and they're watching people cook with Kingsford charcoal and talk about cookouts and talking about Brita filters and them using those to filter their water. Really one of the best companies at embracing video across the entire organization, especially at the executive level, which is where it provides the most power. So I want to back up here and take a look at a DIY example. An everyday market researcher can produce this uh, with the tools simply in the Vox Pop Me platform. You do not need to engage a video engineer. You do not need to pay thousands of dollars for that. You do not need to wait days for them just to reorder a couple of the clips if you want to do that. I personally created this show reel in about 20 minutes. Why don't we start it from the top?
And Dean, did I pick
Is
the
this the
right
right
video?
video? Yep.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Before I hit play on the video, I wanted to ask you a question. You talked about how on the Clorox video loop that's playing that they've got the subtitles at the bottom. And just for people who may not be familiar with this kind of idea, my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is that Fox Pop Me and some of these other platforms, they actually automatically do the transcription from the video. So when you're getting these video responses, you're collecting your data, you're collecting video data that obviously includes audio. The platform is automatically doing that transcription, and that's what you're referring to as the
That is
subtitle. Am I
exactly right.
correct?
The transcripts are done by humans. I'm a big fan of human transcripts. I don't ever mess around with machine transcripts. To me, they're not accurate enough, and certainly for something that's going on the executive floor, they're not going to be accurate enough either, right? So human transcription, and then again, when you're grabbing that piece of text and the platform is grabbing that snippet of video for you, it's just a little checkbox that says burn in subtitles along the bottom. And it's great for when you've got muted monitors, but of course it's also great for when you've got French speaking respondents or Spanish speaking respondents or German speaking respondents.
Love that. Okay, excellent. So the transcription isn't automatic, but of course we all know that automatic transcription is challenging, which is why we don't do it when we're, when we're translating questionnaires, right? We don't do Google
Right.
Translate to translate our questionnaires. We always, in professional research, work with professional translators, and you're saying that that's the case too. But once the human translation is done, then it is part of the deliverable, and obviously makes for a very powerful combination of text and video.
And I would like to
Awesome.
support
All right, I'll
companies
go
here.
ahead and click play.
Can you start from the beginning, Catherine?
Oh, sorry, my mistake,
Perfect.
folks. Certainly go back to the beginning.
Here we've pulled in a
Honestly,
quant
I just
slide
am scared
where
of
we've
it.
got some text.
I think there may be contamination, the water that's used over there in Mexico. Also, just facilities that the products are made in may not be as sterile and clean. I just don't know enough.
It wouldn't bother me to buy something handcrafted from there, like, I don't know, shelving, clothing, dishes, things for your home. But when it comes to things that you're going to ingest and put in your body, I just feel that it's safer to go with countries that have the stricter standards on these things.
I don't think I'd be interested in vitamins from Mexico because there are a lot of things that are outsourced to different countries, and I would like to support companies here in America.
If I have a choice and I can buy something made in the USA or in any other civilized country that has regulations that require them to pay their employees survivable wages, I'm going to choose those
So there you
countries,
go. We've
not
got
the
a couple of
corrupt.
great things going on with this video. A, we've got some amazing hairdos. So it just sells you again on the quality and rawness of video footage. I brought in a bar chart at the very beginning of this show reel just to demonstrate how you would work it with a quantitative study. And then I showed you some analysis slides with some quick logos or images that you can very easily add to the show reel as well. Now let's move real quickly then to our glammed up version, which is analysis on T-Mobile that I conducted. And this is really kind of taking it over the top.
have excellent marketing, and they have great promotions. The marketing is
We'll let this run for another 10 seconds, 15
catchy. I
seconds,
always
Catherine.
remember it when I see it on the TV screen.
I thought that they were more expensive. Because they all the nickel and dime.
Stop it right there, Catherine.
Well, you know, it's unfortunate that we had the video delays, but that's brutal reality, right? When we're working with video, we do have to make sure that that we're, you know, got sufficient bandwidth. And apparently, our Adobe Connect connection did not have sufficient bandwidth. So an unfortunate experience. I apologize to our attendees, but a brutally real lesson for dealing with video content.
So on that one, you know, we had the music overlay. We've got some animations going on there. The projective technique I wanted to also show off here, because in the beginning we had just a couple of talking heads, people doing traditional selfie video, but then when we get to that last section in the T-Mobile customers, I asked them to choose an image that expressed how they feel towards the brand. That's when we're able to do projective techniques with video, and that's why you saw, you know, those images, people choosing those images to explain how they feel about that. So there's, you know, video is just so versatile, and you know, so you can do either or. So let's real quickly get to don'ts and do's, and there's a reason why I put the don'ts on top. Don't try to use a video report if you've got a 30-question quant study. You know, you're going to have to rely on a PowerPoint to present out all those findings. No one's going to sit there and watch a 40-minute video. Don't make clips any longer than about 10 to 12 seconds. I've seen our clients, our vendors who have used video try to put together their own show reels, and they're letting someone go on a ramble for 30 seconds, and it really does drag down the momentum of the video and the tempo that you want to be maintaining. And speaking of tempo, don't overdo the text slides. I mean, you don't want you know, just a brick of text and multiple bricks of text within those videos that people are meant to be reading. So do try to make the text pretty succinct. Now, do use clips of only the best respondents. Again, I've seen our vendor partners put together these show reels that are going to the big brands, and they're using people that are fuzzy, that are talking in the dark. You can barely see their faces. Spend a little extra and collect more videos than maybe you think you're going to need, just so you've got those great videos to show your clients. Do also add the captions. You'll see on both the DIY and also the sizzle reel with T-Mobile that we've got little bits of information about each respondent as they come up. Maybe it's their first name, maybe it's their age, maybe it's where they live, maybe it's their category usage, light, medium user, light, heavy, medium user, anything that's going to be relevant to your audience. And then lastly, do think about a video report that could accompany a more traditional PowerPoint. So you do your 1 hour, your 1.5 hour readout. Again, I used to work at Hyundai. I know how the client researchers are presenting these things. But then as a follow-up, I used to always send out PowerPoint. I know client-side researchers are doing that all the time. You send out the PowerPoint. Hey guys, for those that missed the readout, here you go. It's a great 40-page deck. You know, flip through it at your convenience, and no one ever has the time to do that. So you could honestly put together a little 3 or 4 minute or 5 minute video that would accompany the traditional PowerPoint for not a lot of money and not a lot of extra time. And that's my contact info. So let's get to some questions.
Excellent, Dean. So there are a couple of questions that have come in. I'm going to start from the bottom and then work my way up. Shayla's asking, can we now request video reports from a market research company?
Yes. Most market research companies have shied away from even leveraging video in traditional qualitative reports. I swear 99.9% of the qualitative reports still getting produced out there have not a lick of consumer video in them. And I would be going to my vendors and asking them why, especially given the number of platforms that exist. I want to be seeing the video in my reports. So go ahead and ask them for that.
Excellent. And then Alexandra is asking, can you create the slide with the picture with Vox Pop Me, or do you create them in PowerPoint and then add them to your reel
You would
in
actually
the
be
platform?
inserting, so the bar chart that I had in the one video is simply just an import of a JPEG or an image file. So you would need to save down your charts, your line charts, your bar graphs as an image, and just upload the image into the show reel.
Excellent. Now, and how long should, I know you talked before that the individual snippets should be short. I think you said 10 to 12 seconds. How long should a video total be though? Like if you're doing a truly video report, what do you
Yeah,
have for a
so
general rule of thumb
real
on
quick on
length?
the individual videos, gosh, McKinsey would get us to have 3 second and 4 second videos. So 10 to 12 is kind of the max. But McKinsey, when they were presenting to the very highest executives and it was a 45-second show reel we were trying to put together, it would be just quick sound bites. Now, as far as the overall video show reel, it really is going to depend on what you're using it for. We just talked about, hey, why don't I put together a video show reel to complement my PowerPoint? Maybe that's a 3 minute or 4 minute one. But again, for Clorox, when we are sending people into the stores to do a shop along and we want to see how they purchase charcoal or cleaning supplies, and we've got a couple of video questions there, those are going to be running about 6 to 8 minutes.
Excellent. We also have a question about, can you use Apple iMovie or are there other applications that you
Yeah, I
use
mean,
for the video
iMovie
report?
would certainly get you into the fancier video that we saw, right, with the additional animations and the music overlay. The whole purpose, though, I think, of talking about this is that video reports with with the right tools, the right platforms, are now accessible to the everyday researcher. So we don't have to know Final Cut Pro or Movie Maker in order to make video a part of our readout. And that really is the key. Video has been around for decades, but the platforms really have transformed how people are using video, analyzing video, and incorporating video to share out results with their clients.
Excellent, excellent. Dean, thank you so much for your time. I think we have time to take, well, we're actually a little bit over because I promised a very fast 30-minute webinar today. But if anybody wants to squeeze in one last quick question, I'll read it while as I'm saying my thank yous to Dean. So Dean, I really want to thank you for your time today. As a couple of people have said in the chat, this is really inspiring, and I think it really kind of challenges all of us to kind of rethink how we do our research reports. And I love that it's not just using video for focus group montages, but that it can be applied to various types of qualitative and quantitative research. So thank you so much for sharing your expertise today. I encourage people to contact Dean, and we will be sending out a follow-up email, so I'll have Dean's contact information in the
Right?
email
Do we
as
have a
well.
question or no?
And the last question was, somebody was wondering, are there any free video resources that you would
Uh,
recommend for
Yeah, I mean, you're going
creating
to find some
creating these
trial
types of things?
video packages online if you want to download those and give them a shot. Windows comes with a basic movie, video editor. So does the Macs. Again, but that is going to require you to learn another package. And really, the point here is just to use the platform and make it dead simple.
Right. Excellent. Thank you so much, Dean. I appreciate your input. Folks, if there's anything else that comes up, let me know, and I will forward questions to Dean. And again, we'll send out a thank you email for everybody for attending.